Hello everybody, welcome into the first post-game edition of the Telegram Football Insiders here at the 2016 season. I'm Josh Walfish, joined by Ethan Joyce. Ethan, week one finally over for the most part. Northeast Carolina Prep still playing later today, but decent start for the Twin Counties. Possible 8-1 record, the best possible record. Finished 6-3 tonight. Rocky Mount Prep, Southwest Edgecombe, Nash Central, year 3 losers. Everybody else basically won across the board. You're at one of the bigger blowouts tonight, and that would be Rocky Mount High, absolutely stomping South Granville.
Yeah, it was a 48-0 win for the Griffons. Everything looked pretty good. Running game looked great. You really got to see B.J. Sanders and company kind of dust everything off and show that they're going to be able to run the football just like they did last year. But, you talk to those guys after the game. They weren't particularly happy about, the way the offensive line and special team play. It's still got some growing to do. 3 starters on that offensive line. I'm sure they're going to get it together at some point, but they're going to need to for Apex Middle Creek next week.
I was about to say, they need to with a team of Middle Creek's caliber coming in to Rocky Mount next week. I was at another big blowout of sorts. Tarboro won 42-0, but I think the big story for me wasn't Tarboro, it was Nash Central. Mm-hmm. The Bulldogs played about as well as I could expect them to play against Tarboro. Defensively, they looked a lot stronger. Offensively, they moved the ball fairly well. Nice little jet sweeps. Used a decent passing game from Travis Griffin a little bit. Again, the big problem for them is, I think, just a little bit of the inexperience. They got into the red zone, picked up a critical penalty, got sacked on 3rd and goal from the 8 for a 10-yard loss. And then, of course, they fumbled the ball in the 3rd quarter, and all that sort of piled up, unfortunately for them, in a 42-0 loss. But, hey, this game easily could have been 28-14, could have been a 35-14 game. That would have looked a lot better for Nash Central. Looking elsewhere around it, I know our wonderful correspondent Scott Colley was down in Bailey with Southern Nash's big win. What were your main takeaways from reading his report?
Well, I just think Kendrick Bell and Zonovan Knight made me look like I knew what I was talking about from yesterday. Kendrick gets 4 total touchdowns in the game. Zonovan had some nice off-speed work there, coming in place of Kendrick, and Matt Hampton stepping into the quarterback role and having a pretty nice night. They're replacing a lot of offensive producers on that team, and so for them to come out and do that and do so confidently is pretty big for this season. And
also making me look a little bit smart as well, because I said Brian Foster, he never seems to rebuild, and once again, picks players, plugs them right in, and they have a lot of success. For me, 2 things stand out. Southwest Edgecombe lost 38-13 tonight to Eatonton Holmes. They lost 4 starters on defense in the second half alone. Most notably, Dylan Hodges. He is out with a dislocated finger. Unknown whether he will play next Friday night at North Edgecombe. But considering he played most of, if not the entire regional final last year at Kinston with the dislocated finger, I don't suspect it will keep him out too long. He was taken to the hospital today strictly out of sort of precaution, wanting to set it before the swelling started to get up. And then Northern Ash, a big win for them, 17-0 over Wendell Corinth Holders. They pitched a beautiful shutout defensively. Offensively, still a lot of kinks. Coach Ryan Vapor said they shot themselves in the foot a lot with penalties. But other than that, for them to defend their home field the way they did, put together a good, solid game for all 48 minutes, keep the effort consistent for all 48 minutes, that's a big step forward for Northern Ash. So, Ethan, we'll wrap it up here quickly with this. Is there any other thoughts from around the Twin Counties that you might have?
Rocky Mount Academy had a pretty solid showing against Bethel Christian. Coach Hudgens was saying that new starting quarterback Isaiah Thomas got in there, had a good first quarter, took him out, and he actually had all of his players on the team play in this game tonight. So really doing some of that depth building for some of those bigger 8-man football games that they're going to face down the road. So.
Well, if the Eagles want to win back their title that they lost last year, that depth is going to be very important. But, Ethan, week 1 is officially over, so you can check back in next week where Ethan and I will break down week 2 here on the Telegram Sports Channel.